the Epiphany Sunday. Next Sunday, we will begin ordinary time. Tomorrow, in the Catholic liturgy, is the baptism of Jesus. So, we move pretty quickly from the Magi today to the baptism. But there is some prayer to be received. The Epiphany is a word for display, exposure, going more than public, or being outed, if you want to say, in our terms. So we have to look at, now there are the prophecies, of course, in the first reading, and they are confirmed by this story that is only in Matthew's Gospel. The three kings are not in, the Magi as we call them, are not in the other three Gospels. So why does Matthew have them is a very important theological reason that at the very beginning, Jesus' light is for Israel and to be spread beyond. That the people of God is expanding to the people of God worldwide. If you want to have an image, it would be if you had a globe and you had a little flashlight right on the Middle East, Israel. And with the Epiphany, the light expands around the globe. The gospel, the evangelium, the good news is for enlightening the whole world. And that spread is the work of the Magi. So they come, excuse me, following an idea, a star, a brightness, an invitation. So the Magi, these three kings, come from a distant way of looking at things. Ideas, teachings. We don't know exactly. Magi were fascinated by maybe the occult, the different. And they bring great gifts, of course, because the prophecy has to be fulfilled in Matthew's Gospel. So we have the intrigue with Herod, who is king, of course, and doesn't want another king. So they stop and have a little interview with him, and he says, as you see in the Gospel, when you find him, come and tell me, and I will go and do him homage. What he will do is do him pain and kill him. So they go, following their star again, their idea, their hope, their wandering, and they come to the place where the idea stops. That's an important image for this. And they stop, and they go into the house, and they find more than an idea, but an idea or a word dwindled to infancy. And they say, this blows our categories. This is not in keeping with what God means, or with the transcendent means, or with what human beings searching means. The transcendent has come to be made visible, so that the idea changes to a person. And it's very interesting that they have this interaction, and we have no idea how long they stayed. In the Gospel, they don't stay very long, but meeting Mary, meeting Joseph, meeting the shepherds, meeting the baby Jesus, makes them meet themselves. And because of the fear of Herod, they are warned in a dream And it's very significant. At the last words of today's gospel, they returned by a different way. That is a wonderful term, because maybe they were changed from idea relating to themselves to a person relating with others. How different was the way? Was it just geographical, or was it interpersonal, and was it religious? So the Epiphany is the manifestation, the exposure is to each of us, because we are so people of ideas, philosophy and theology. We're fascinated by it, by questions, seeking answers. And if we don't get answers, we don't believe, or we search for another question, or someone else who might know. So that they are, in a sense, I was thinking, kneeling there, worshiping, they're kind of thrown back on their heels. And they go back by a different way of looking. There's no more stars, you see. There's no star leading them back. They go by a different route, and maybe on the way they decide that ideas don't save, that a person of God, from God, for the light of the world, that maybe that's their mission, to continue not the light of a star, but the light of their belief. Maybe the way they returned was differently by how they lived. That maybe they got off their high camels and walked on the earth and met people face to face, not head to head. So we might go and kneel down, bring our big prizes of intellect and imagination, and receive the interpersonal way, the reality, the simplicity, the humble way of revealing the light. Not an idea, not a star, but a person. To let him into our stables, we prayed with that. To let him into our hearts, we go by a different way than when we pray, when we celebrate the Eucharist, when we receive again God serving us. Imagine that. Come to be part of us and to encourage us to travel a different way. Not just ideas, but heart.